Great morning, holy brothers and sisters! For the 10th of SHEVAT in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, today's lesson will be called Distancing Desires. Even a person who does not know how to study and whose mental faculties do not receive new vitality when he conducts his business faithfully, since he is not involved in Torah study, which is the essential source of understanding and intellect, nevertheless, he too effects a great rectification by conducting his business faithfully as he does, for through his conduct he benefits someone else who has the same spiritual root as he. For the other person's mental faculties are revitalized within his faithful business activity, and this other person will then have rejuvenated mental powers with which to study Torah and to attach himself to the Creator. Be better in business to benefit bodies beyond. And this corresponds to blowing the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, the new year, as is known, is an aspect of sleep, which is an aspect of faithful business activity. But the shofar blasts are an awakening from sleep, which is the renewal of the mental powers, namely the intellect and the soul of every person, through the light of the face. This is the deeper explanation as to why the face of the person who blows the shofar grows red from exertion, namely because at the time he blows the shofar, the lights from the supernal face are awakened. Thus, by hearing the shofar blast, each person on his own level can merit to draw new intellect and a new soul from the light of the faith. Faithful business is like blowing shofar blasts. Teaching number 36. Bekrov alai mereim, when evildoers approach me. Tehillim 27:2. Every Jewish soul, before it experiences a revelation in the Torah and divine service, is tested and refined in the exile of the 70 nations, that is, in their physical desires. To explain, each one of the 70 nations has some negative character trait of its own which is not found in any other nation, and because of these traits, these nations are distant from the 70 faces or facets of the Torah. Now, the shell covers the fruit, and a person who wishes to eat the fruit must first break through its shell. Accordingly, before receiving a revelation of understanding, which is a revelation of Torah, since the Torah is the essence of true understanding and wisdom, the soul is forced to go into exile, that is, into exile of the character traits and physical desires of the 70 nations, in order to break those traits and desires, and subsequently come to a revelation in Torah and divine service. When the Jewish soul enters this exile, it must then cry out to God many times. Collectively, these cries are said to be 70 in number, since the soul desires to leave the exile of the 70 nations to enter the 70 faces of the Torah, exactly like a birthing mother who cries out 70 times from the bitter anguish of her birth pangs. The mother's 70 cries correspond to the 70 words contained in the Tehillim, "May God answer you in time of trouble." Tehillim 22, Zohar 3:249. For without these cries, it is impossible for her to deliver. Experiencing a revelation in Torah and divine service is similar to giving birth, and the way a person merits this revelation is also by crying out 70 times until God has compassion on him and he merits to prevail and to break all of his physical desires. Distance from desires to deserve more divinity. As always, thank you so much for learning together. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow, and please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.